Welcome back.
to the Remember series.
We did not plan that. It just happened.
It just happened. Well, we are excited for you to come back. Oh my gosh, you guys sticked around for like 3 episodes.
Yeah. And now it's time to go on a trip. I mean, we're going to talk about our anniversary trip. So that's why I made that lame joke, I guess. But yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Part and parcel of marriage. It all comes with the package.
Yeah.
But it's been 4 years.
Yeah. We just came back from our fourth
Fourth
anniversary trip. I mean, based on whenever you're watching this, I don't think exactly. But when we're recording this, we just came back from our anniversary
Yeah.
trip.
Crazy to say it's been 4 years and we took 4 trips in
Yeah.
4 countries.
Yeah.
Um,
And I guess, like, to start off, our whole trip taking thing was inspired by two of our friends,
Yes.
Eliezer and Payal, because
yes.
they do this every year where they go.
Well,
on,
they did stop, but hopefully we don't.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good motivation for us.
Yeah.
Like, at least once a year to take like a big trip. And just to remember and celebrate what God is doing in our
Yeah.
marriage.
And also, like before the anniversary, I never took like an international trip. And even though Ebison was in like US, like grew up in US and stuff, he did not take any trips either. Did you take any international trip?
Not just like that. I mean, yeah, we would just come to India, but it's not like
See, coming to India
I
doesn't.
mean, not like a vacation. Yeah. So
Yeah.
first anniversary trip or first time you went anywhere outside
Side.
the India at that
Yeah.
time
The
was
first time I used my passport was on my first anniversary.
and we went to
Drum roll. Thailand.
yeah. And it was close from India, so
Yeah.
like compared to going from America, it was much
Yeah,
cheaper.
we can't think right now to like.
Yeah.
If we think of like going to Thailand right now, we'll be like,
It's a
might as well
long
go to India.
Yeah. But from India, it was a good first trip, I think.
Yeah, it was a 3 hour flight. It felt like domestic.
Right.
Uh,
We went from Hyderabad to
Bangkok.
and then we had like a long layover, which is like 12 hours. Like we reached in the morning, and then in the evening was our flight from Bangkok to Krabi. And we decided Krabi and not to stay in Bangkok because Bangkok is more like a city, and we wanted a little bit more like of a beach kind of a thing. A lot of people go to Phuket when they go to Thailand, but Phuket also felt like a big clubbing kind of scene, and we're not really like very loud, noisy kind of people. So we just decided to go to Krabi. I think you found Krabi.
Yeah, I think I researched, I found, I did most of the bookings. And I remember that I think just a month before I had got my job. I remember we both were like jobless after the wedding.
Yeah, because it was like COVID and also all that.
And we I remember that April I got my last job, which was not like the nicest job, but I still had a job after like almost a year. And it has just been 1 month into it, and with that, like, we decided to take this trip, which felt impossible, but just the ways that God worked it out was like marvelous in our side.
It feels so long ago. I'm trying to remember like all the details, but
I know it's been a while. Our first trip was in 2022. That's when we turned
first anniversary.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember that April is when I got my job, and May is when we traveled. Uh, and we were just like, for me, a lot of things was new. First time, like using the passport, first time, like going to another country and experiencing thing. And I was like in awe. And also, Krabi is very beautiful.
Yeah. So if you ever want to go to Thailand, Krabi is a great place. I guess one of my favorite things about that trip that I still remember, of course, the boba tea. Because in India, I couldn't get like actual boba tea. I mean, there was boba tea, but it was not that great. But more than that, I think just driving around, we rented like a two-wheeler bike.
Yeah.
and then we just like drove around everywhere, and that's something that we like to do just so we can
The
do
f-
things on our
on our
own
own
time.
time.
Yeah, we don't have to like depend on somebody else
Yeah.
to take us places. So we rented like this two-wheeler bike, and one of my favorite things was just riding around that in the whole island of Krabi,
Yeah.
because like there's no dust and pollution and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So it just felt nice to
Yeah.
just be in the open air and just ride
I
around.
remember one of the days, like we had like a 7-Eleven close to our resort. 7-Eleven is like a
Convenience store,
convenience
like
store.
a
And I remember one of the days that I drove till there. I think I say that in my Thailand vlog. Go watch it. I say that oh my gosh, like I don't feel any dust on my face, because in India I would wear like scarf, I would wear my like glasses and everything, and then still there would be like particles of dust on my face.
Mm.
And I was just so happy with that whole feeling of like not having dust or pollution. Uh,
What is your favorite part of the whole trip? I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind about the whole driving around thing. So.
So, of all the places we went, one of the places were is called the hot spring.
Oh yeah.
It was just a hot spring waterfall. It was a natural waterfall, but the whole thing was hot, and I couldn't just wrap my mind around the fact that like there is a waterfall, the water is like hot and it's warm and nice. And like we stayed there for like a while, and just we had to like make ourselves come out of it.
Yeah.
And that was like
Yeah.
just so special. Like like I remember being mesmerized by um the creation of God, which I often do. I'm like a very much of a nature person, but like that was like, I'm like, how is this working? Like, does somebody left the geyser on?
Yeah. What's your least favorite part? Should I go first?
Sure.
So for on the day of our anniversary, first anniversary, so I'm not a big fan of like large masses of water, so because I don't know how to swim. So, but
Is
then
that the only reason?
yeah, I mean, growing up, I literally grew up like very close to the beach in Vizag in India. And my grandma always used to scare us not to go into the water because the water is going to take us away. And me being my rebellious self, I actually tried it and I felt the waves pull. I'm like, oh, Amachi's not lying. So yeah, I never liked like being by the ocean or the sea or anything like that. But then I remember that it's our anniversary.
And our first
It's
anniversary.
our first anniversary, so I wanted to do something special. And then we came across this tour, which was like a 7 island tour. So in the morning, they would pick you up and they'll put you on like this boat, like a long tail boat, as they call it in Thailand. And they
Mm,
would take you from island to island. And then there's like snorkeling and all those activities involved. There was supposed to be like a sunset dinner and all those things.
yeah.
So I'm like, wow, that would be a nice thing to do on our
Yeah.
first anniversary, even though I was kind of scared, but I'm like, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah. I
And
think that's one of my worst part from the trip. And then we go to snorkeling. This is the first time like both of us are doing it. I have no clue. I know swimming, but snorkeling is a whole different thing. Like, and being in the ocean doing that for the first time, because I knew swimming in like still water in swimming pool. So they ask us to just wear the
so,
life jacket and just go in the water.
yeah,
No instructions.
and they just passed out the life jackets and they passed out the goggles with that tube thing, and people just started wearing them and they just jumped off the water like they do this every other day. And I'm like waiting for somebody to tell us what to do, how to do this. I actually thought that they were going to take us to like the shore and they were going to like slowly walk into the water and then kind of like see things. But they just took us to the middle of the ocean. It's like, okay, you can go now. I'm like, and people were jumping off the boat. And
Yeah.
I was like, kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to do this, but I'm like, we also paid for it and
Yeah.
we're already here.
Yeah.
So
So big story short, long story short, I floated away.
let me tell this. I first get off so the boat had like a little ladder thing that you can go into the water. So I first got off the ladder, but then I knew I could not swim and I was not trusting the life jacket enough. So I moved to the side and I was just holding on to the boat. I'm not leaving the side of the boat. So the other people are going into the water. I'm like holding on to the side of the boat and I'm like trying to put my face in the water just to see, like,
Fishes.
some fishes or something.
You did see.
Yeah, but then you came down and then you actually
Yeah,
left.
I actually swim a little and I went a little far, but then this was the first time I was wearing the life jacket. And because of the wave when we were like in middle of the ocean, the waves like flipped me over. Uh,
So you were on your back
I was
basically.
on my back and it was hard for me to like flip back. And then I'm like waving for help and all of that. And in middle of all that, the guy from the boat says, "Ma'am, we cannot come to help you. Try to help yourself." And I'm like, I'm dying hearing you saying, "You can't come to help me."
And I sure was not gonna go to
And
help
I
since I
had,
could, I could not leave the boat. I was too scared to leave the
and I
boat.
had, to be honest, I had no hopes that my husband would come save me. I'm like, nobody's coming to save me, and this guy. And then when I got to know that the boat guy is also not coming, and I have like floated away because
And I'm over here holding onto the boat, watching her float away. I'm like, well, thank you God for the 1 year that we had together. I'll live to tell the story.
I know. And then I think later God's grace and the survival mode got into me. Then when like if nobody's helping, I have to help myself. And then I pushed my body back to flip around. And yeah, then I made it back to the boat.
and
But yeah, that was not
and
a
then
fun part.
and then I remember we both got inside the boat and did not speak for like
We both did because in the when like a few times that I tried to stand up, like the coral leaves cut my toe,
feet.
like my feet here and there. That was painful. So once I got in the boat, I was like regretting because of me. He's doing it. He never wanted to be in the water. All of that stuff. And I remember we got on that boat and we sat next to each other without uttering a single word about what has happened, and we like quiet till we reached the next island.
Yeah,
And only after we reached the next island we spoke to each other.
yeah. And then it was okay. Like we just went
Yeah.
on with our rest of the trip.
Yeah.
Like
The rest
obviously,
of the islands were beautiful.
yeah.
We had like
And
a sun.
then after all of that, before we reached our final place, the boat stopped working in the middle of the ocean at night. And we're like, why is the boat not moving? Because
Because
the
it feels
waves,
like it's moving because like when like your car breaks down in the middle of the road, you're like still, you're like stationed there. But with the boat, even though it's broken and like
so
you're
it's
like
constantly moving
moving,
because of the waves. So
so
yeah,
you
and
feel
then
like you're moving but not moving.
yeah, and then later the guy comes and says that something happened with
To
the
the
engine
engine.
and the boat's not moving, so they're waiting for a
And
rescue
people
boat.
start freaking out.
Yeah, and it was a very interesting first
Yeah.
anniversary.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this adventure is not ending. Like
Yeah.
there was like a family, like a Hindu families, they were like remembering all their gods.
Okay, but I mean, with
Yeah.
all that to say, we finally made it to the place, and I
Yeah.
think the rest of the
Oh, one of the things that I did, like when the whole storm thing started happening and all of that, and I realized that I don't have control over it. So we were again sitting on like on the board, like in one of the seats, and I told myself, "What did Jesus do in the storm? He slept."
WWJD. If you don't know, Google it.
So I sleep. I just lie down and I go to sleep till it starts. I'm just gonna sleep. So that's what I did. And after like it took a hour for us to like a hour in the dark, pitch dark of the night. We were in the middle of
Like
no,
around 8, 9
yeah,
p.m.
I was dark.
Yeah.
And we were like, and it's in the ocean, like I can see an island like far away, like some light.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that also just taught me like when things are beyond you, just
Sleep.
throw your sleep and just throw your hands in the air and leave it to God and just rest, knowing that even in the storm he's the one holding my boat, even if it takes time. Like uh I feel like Jonah was like people in the boat in the story of Jonah was troubled because of Jonah. But then in this boat, because of me, not I'm not just claiming because of me, but the goodness of God that we carry is like carried everybody to the shore and saved everybody that day. And yeah, just trust in the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we made it safe. That's why we're still here.
Yes,
So,
we are.
yeah. We want to move on to the next trip.
Yeah. And
Anything before we move on?
no, so the second trip was to
To
Malaysia.
Malaysia. And the funny thing about it, we didn't think we can make that trip because right before our anniversary, I had to come to America for something. And I mean, I did come back before our anniversary, but because I just went to America, it was already like a big trip. And financially, we're like, I don't know if this is possible.
And I think again in that patch we were not working. I think I was not working or something because we were
Mm.
just planning to move to US, and I had my interviews lined up and a lot of different appointments that I had to go to Mumbai and different places. So we literally, I think, May 26th is our anniversary, and I think we booked the trip on like May 10th or something.
Mm.
Like I
Because
remember.
I remember like a long time ago, some promotion thing came up on the Make My Trip app where you can like you can block a room for 1 rupee. And I think you did that in Malaysia, random, like just because you found the place, it
Yeah.
was just 1 rupee. So we just like blocked it, like I think in Jan or something like that.
Yeah.
You just blocked it and we didn't even think about it. So when it came to our anniversary time, when we were thinking, oh, maybe we cannot go anywhere. So we're like, we were kind of giving up hopes and thinking that, oh,
Yeah.
maybe we cannot. And then suddenly, somehow, we remembered that we blocked this room. And, and we remembered that. And then we just went back to check. And
Yeah.
then how much, like, the.
It was not a lot, and we booked it, and then we looked at the tickets, and I think uh I think we just had enough money to like book our tickets and go there.
Yeah.
And we did that, and I was like, let's trust in the Lord. I know it doesn't make sense. Let's
Yeah.
trust in the
I
Lord
mean, yeah,
and just
we
book
had
the
enough
ticket
money to book the tickets to go there.
and book the place, pay for the
Yeah, and
place.
pay for the hotel. I'm like, I mean, I
We
guess
have a place to
we
stay.
had a place to stay. We have a means to go there.
Yeah.
And we went there, and the place where we stayed,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, like, so we stayed a little bit away from the city, and that was a really good option because we could like, so the hotel that we stayed in, it had like this rooftop infinity pool, and from that you could literally see the whole city. Because we were staying away from it, we had like a view
Yeah.
of the city.
City.
And it
And
was,
we
and even from the room we
yeah.
had the view of
Like
the whole
the whole
city.
city, we would see the Petrona Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And I remember the first day that we were in Malaysia, we went to that pool, and then I think we landed, we changed everything, and then we straight went to the pool upstairs. And we in the pool, we're just looking at each other and like,
Like,
and then
wow.
looking at all the people like who are like visiting and traveling, and then we are like, how are we here?
Yeah, no.
I was like, because a lot of times you guys might see like our Instagram stories, or they're here, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, like I cannot even fathom that I'm in Malaysia right now. Like my reality and my bank account does not make sense.
And I feel like there are so many other details that I'm like forgetting right now,
Yeah.
because I remember right after this trip when we came back, we were talking to Eliezer and Pyle about it, and I remember Pyle saying, "Guys, you guys should write this down because there's so many things that happen along this way. I wish we could have done this earlier, but we're doing this
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
regardless. 4 years later, but
Yeah.
even now, just to like what you said about many times." Like I think a week or two ago, we did not even think that this trip was gonna happen,
Happen.
and we're like, well, we had our one anniversary trip.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And it that just feels like that we'd even God's intentionality
yeah,
in the fact that we wanted to take an international anniversary trip every year.
mm,
It just felt like God's intentionality all over again
mm,
in that area, and we were just so grateful.
yeah,
And I remember that first day that I was in the pool, I was just crying in the pool, like looking around. The view was w- magnificent, with the whole city, the skyscrapers and everything, and the pool and everything, and just then the sunset happened. The sunset was so beautiful.
Mm.
Like in everything, God just like uh sometimes, like how they say, like the favor of the Lord does not make sense, but it makes you rich without painful toil. And that was the whole experience of like us being in Malaysia. And I'm like, we did enjoy, we did go to places.
Yeah, and then I guess the highlight would be of when what so we were in Malaysia for our anniversary trip and we were just posting things on Instagram, and one of our friends,
If
Eva, she was like physiotherapist
this
for
for
like a
PV Sindhu.
and they were doing some tournament in Malaysia, and so she sees our Instagram stories and she's like, "Hey, are you guys here?" And PV Sindhu, for those who don't know, she played for India in
And
badminton across the world.
she still plays,
Yeah,
and like she played the Olympics and all of that.
yeah. So our friend is like her physiotherapist. So she was like, "Hey, you
She
guys are
won.
here." Yeah, she was. So you guys are here, and then we're like, "Yeah, we're here." And it's like, "Oh, you guys want to come to like a game or something?" And we've never been to any of
Yeah,
these kind of things. And then we got to meet, like, more than the game and everything. We just got to meet her, hang out with her. But
yeah,
we also got VIP seats for
yeah.
the badminton tournament. So that
Yeah,
was
we
like a
got we actually got to see her future husband with her.
cut. Let's not get into all that right now. Why?
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we got VIP seats for the badminton thing and all that, and yeah, so that was fun. Like
Yeah.
more than the badminton or
Oh,
anything.
also, I think one of the things in Malaysia for me was the first time to go to thrift stores.
Oh, that was the first time.
Yeah, because India does not
Oh
have
yeah,
thrift
actually
store.
that's
That's
true.
why I ran a thrift store in
Right, right,
India.
right, right. But yeah.
So when we went to Malaysia, that was my first time like going to thrift store, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Mm,
And yeah, that was like a highlight for me,
mm.
apart from
Oh
like
wow. Okay. Nice.
apart from the other things.
Yeah, I forgot that India did not have like thrift stores like
Yeah,
that.
I am sure it still doesn't have thrift store. Like, I know there, like I started second chance to come, but there are like a lot of people doing thrift stores
Yeah,
online on
online.
Instagram, but I don't think there's a store like that.
Mm. That was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Any like downsides for
I
the
don't
trip?
think so.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah, we didn't do anything adventurous.
Yeah, actually, this was more like a. I
Leisure.
mean, it's also like a city, right? So
Yeah.
there's not a lot you could do.
Yeah,
But
I remember for our anniversary, we went to Kale Towers, which is like one of the tallest building,
mm,
and which is like a revolving 360-degree revolving.
the views were nice, but food was average. But
Yeah,
that's okay.
and then they gave us like anniversary treat.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that was sweet, and like, but the view was amazing because we were
yeah,
like on the top, like
yeah.
I don't know, 300, 400 feet or something
Mm,
up in the sky. Uh, yeah, that was amazing.
yeah. And then I remember that we kept referring to our hotel room. Oh, we're going home. We're going home. I'm
Yeah.
like, why does this feel so homely?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was nice.
yeah, that was nice.
And then you want to move to the third trip?
Then we moved to US in
24.
2024, and
Even the third trip,
yeah, I
we're
know
like,
we mentally made the thing that we moved out of like India, and we just like coming to US was expensive, and then we are in US like jobless again.
yeah.
Just, uh, and then I remember that we both were not working, so we don't have like money, and we made like peace with like let's not do it. Maybe we
Yeah.
cannot do it
Didn't we think of just going to? We were actually looking. Okay, maybe we cannot do international. Let's just do something like in the
in the
country.
country.
And in the process of looking, I think we were looking for New York and like different places like that.
I
And
don't
like
remember that.
going to New York was more expensive than going
Yes,
to.
yes. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah,
So going to New York was somehow more expensive than going to Mexico.
yeah.
Also,
And
US is big,
and
so
then I remember,
Mexico was neighboring
yeah,
country.
I remember like our pastors, Pastor Satish and them, they kind of like suggested, hey, if you guys want to go, I think that's a good option.
Yeah.
And I went on a mission trip to Mexico, but never on like a vacation, because a lot of people in America, I think that's their closest vacation spot, and
Yeah.
they go to like these all-inclusive
Oh, that
places.
was
Yeah, so we've never done that,
yeah.
so I did not know what to expect,
And
and
then we plan and we again, I don't know how it happened. Like, I'm
so
not like just saying for the sake of saying, but I don't know if I can translate it like
yeah,
truly that how every trip was like a miracle out
yeah.
of nowhere. I'm like, can we really do this?
Yeah,
And then we are there.
and then I think like you were looking for a place or something, and then God brought this place that was so affordable because they were like a new building that was still under construction, and
A part
like
of it.
yeah, yeah. So like a half of the resort was done, so the other half, even when we went there, they kind of
Yeah.
like covered off because they're still building it, and
Yeah.
they were not one of those resorts that were on the beach, but they had a beach club.
Yeah.
So because they were still new, because they were partly under construction, because they were not on the beach but on the other side, uh, I think like all these factors kind of made it like much cheaper.
Cheaper.
And then, but the thing is, when we went there,
It
everything was
was
so
huge because
good, and
even the half had like four pools, like
yeah,
two. There was like two rooftop pools, and the rest were down. There
yeah,
was like five different restaurants, which
yeah.
was like five different cuisines,
So I never understood what this all
all
inclusive
inclusive.
thing is. So we reached there, and then our rooms were not ready for like another hour or two. And they said, oh, you guys can just hang out. We'll let you know when the rooms are ready.
You can
And they
go
said,
later.
yeah, you can just go to the lobby. They have like ice cream and stuff like that. So I went there and I ordered an ice cream, and they just gave it to me, and I just left. And I just came to her. I'm like, I didn't have to pay for this. It kind of feels weird
Yeah.
not to do that.
And then
So
that was like the rest of our trip. Like we
yeah,
are like ordering drinks and just like
any place we go,
any
we just
place, like
go, eat, and leave.
yeah, because the pools had like so apart from these five restaurants, all the pool sides had like this different shacks that you could again order food from, and then there was a food truck. So we were just like eating and
Yeah.
then swimming and then just chilling.
And then one of the days you can sign up to go to their beach club.
Yeah.
So we did that, and they took us in their vehicle,
And it
and
was just like a 5 minutes
yeah,
drive.
yeah, and the beach, like the water, the ombre,
On the water in Cancun, the like for it was for me the first time to like see ombre water, like from
blue,
dark blue to light blue to turquoise, like the water changing colors within
and
like the
white sand.
and white sand. Oh my gosh, it was like very beautiful, and the
Yeah.
beach club was really nice too.
Yeah. And then we also like we do on most of our trips, we also rented like a car for us
Car.
to go places. And we just went everywhere. We went to like this local market. I remember this was like a fun interaction in that.
Yeah.
So we were just walking around the local market, and apparently you're not supposed to do that because after we came back, people were like, oh my gosh, the cartel, that and this. I'm like, I don't know. I'm glad that we didn't
We
know
didn't know
about it.
about it.
And also, God kept us safe from everything.
Yeah.
And we were just walking around the market, and then all of a sudden I hear like Jaira playing in one of the speakers in one of the stalls, and then I start singing along with Jaira, and the guy at the store is like, oh, you're a Christian? And like, yeah, I'm Christian. And then we start talking, and then I
Yeah.
think we bought something from that store.
Just because he was listening to Jaira. And then we went to another stall, and this is like an old Amachi, the like a grandma sitting there and selling stuff.
Yeah.
But she had her Bible open.
Yeah,
Of
she
course,
was
it
just like reading her word when she was waiting for people.
yeah, and then of course I didn't understand because it was the Bible was in Spanish. But like just because she was doing that, we again bought a thing. I was like,
you want us to buy things? Play Jaira and read your Bible.
yeah, read your Bible and we'll come buy things from you. And yeah, that's all it took for us
Yeah.
to like. But then the whole thing, the whole experience was nice. I think people were surprised that we were Christians too, because it's not like a
Yeah.
norm to like look at an Indian and feel like, oh, you're Christian, and they are surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just special, like shopping around there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, like
And
it
you
was
also,
such a time of relaxation.
yeah, it was very
It
like chill.
just felt like
I
because
think that's like we are very like chill kind of
no, but
vacationers.
you remember also that we were just so overwhelmed
Mm.
with the move, how much like
Mm.
we were like mentally and emotionally exhausted. Like
And that bed was so good. Seriously.
it was a good bed. We slept so much. I don't know how much we slept. We were sleeping
We
for
went to
hours.
the restaurants, ate free food, came back and slept.
Slept, went to the swimming pool, did the same thing again. But I think after we reached there, we like realized that how much we needed, because we had this whole emotional side of us because we moved out of India, and then like so much emotionally we were going through, and then we come to America, like the whole hustle culture of like job, this, that, or when are you moving out? Like so much was like buzzing in our head. Like we had to like commit to the church. He started working with the church, like so much was going on, and just that in midst of all of that and just figuring out what our life would look like in America, God giving us that
Mm.
like 5 days or a week in Cancun within that
Mm.
resort just felt like a big hug.
Yeah.
It just felt like a big warm hug of comfort with food, with the bed, with like everything just felt like a hug in
Mm.
throughout. And yeah, like sometimes like only once you experience thing, you really feel like, oh, how much you needed it.
Mm.
And I think we felt that when we were in Cancun, like experiencing all of that, and just, and also the first time we were just by ourselves,
Yeah.
because
After a
after we
long
moved,
time.
yeah, after a long time, because when we moved to US, we started living with his mom in his house and all of that, and
Yeah. It was
we just had
because
like
we
also
were so used to being by
being by
ourselves,
ourselves.
and then it was out of our comfort zone, and then we got to do that. So it was
Yeah.
very nice.
And we did not realize like it's been like
Mm.
so a
We
while.
came in Jan, so Jan,
Jan,
Feb,
Feb, like
March,
Jan end,
April,
so Feb, March, April,
April.
May,
Towards the end of May is when
May.
we
So
went. So
yeah,
like a
like
good.
4 months for sure. Like,
Mm.
and after that, just being with each other, like more than anything, we were like just grateful. I remember when we came back, like our pastors and leaders and just our friends asked, "Oh, what was the best part about like Cancun?" And I was like, we were just grateful to be just be with each other, like
Mm.
more than anything. But of course, we just enjoyed. It just felt like God's hand over like everything. It was
Yeah.
everything we needed in that time, like,
Yeah.
and
You want to
yeah,
go to fourth one? The most recent.
the most recent,
The most recent.
which technically we went to 2 countries,
Yeah, two countries,
one
and
continent.
yeah, uh, this is like a trip that we wanted to do for a long time because we always wanted to visit London. And so one of the things that we do in every country that we go is we always buy like this fridge magnet. So if you ever see our fridge, you will see like all our fridge magnets of all the places that we went. But one of the things I remember, even before we got married, Abdullah always had a fridge magnet of London.
Yeah,
And
just because I have this family living in London, it's called Bonnie Manisha.
Baby Z.
Yeah, Baby Z was not there in the story when I
Yeah.
bought the magnet, but yeah,
Yeah. So we always wanted to visit London. Like we thought maybe when we were coming from India,
yeah,
but that didn't happen
happened.
because so many different things. And then we're like, we always wanted to visit. It just never happened. And I'm glad that we finally got to do it. And
Yeah,
yeah, for me, yeah, we went to London, and then like our anniversary trip was actually to
to
Scotland,
Scotland.
to Edinburgh. So where do you want to start? Like London, or you want to do Scotland and then come back to London?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So we went to Scotland. I guess if you're talking anniversary trip only,
yeah,
we went to Scotland, and Scotland does not have summers. I mean, they do, but it's not summers as we think
yeah.
it's summers. Because
So in like Celsius, I could say it would be somewhere between like 1 degree or minus 1 degree to 6 degree was how their peak of their summer was.
yeah, so we did not expect it to be
Yeah,
like that, but it was still nice. Like I really like Scotland because like you didn't have to go to a certain place to see like some nice thing.
yeah,
Like every street that you walk around,
that's true.
yeah, like some building, like it would just be apartments, but it would like all be like all these old stone
Yeah,
buildings, cobble streets, and all that stuff. So it was a very nice place to be.
yeah.
uh,
Also, it was. this was like our first like big trip. Because every time before that we did the trip, it was like small fights. Because we did
Small
Thailand,
fights,
not
flights.
fights, flight, small flights, guys. Because when we were in India, we took like Thailand and Malaysia, which is like super close to India. When we
Cancun is
Cancun
very
is like
close to
super
Texas.
close to Texas. So we like all these flights were like 2 hours or three
We
hours
didn't
or
cross the ocean.
we didn't cross the ocean. But this time like we took like a 10-hour flight and we flew to London and it was like I think one of the most expensive flights. This time we were working, guys. I don't know
But yeah,
all the stories. But again, it's like we wouldn't be able to do it without God's
no, for sure.
favor on it because like thinking wise I'm like can we take a trip to
Yeah.
London and back and like because Scotland is expensive, like
Mm.
pound is more powerful than dollar, like just in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was there.
Yeah, Scotland was nice. I think one of the biggest highlights that I can remember is like on the day of our anniversary, it was supposed to be like raining and cloudy. And I mean, most of the days were very cloudy, but on the day of our anniversary, it was supposed to be raining. And obviously, we didn't want that because we wanted to like go out and
Out.
like do things and stuff. So just the night before, we just prayed like we normally do. We were just praying that God like make the weather to be nice so we can go out. And from the time we woke up, there was like no rain. There was even sunshine like every now
Yeah.
and then, and we got to just go around places, explore, and do all that. And I think I post like an Instagram story about how God is mindful of those little details also. And yeah, it was such a beautiful time in Scotland like that.
Yeah.
Is there any highlight moments for you?
Highlands.
Oh, Highland highlights. Yeah.
So we went to this 1 day trip to the Scottish Highlands, which is like mostly the countryside of Scotland. And that was like one of the most
Loch
beautiful
Ness.
ride. And then we went to like this Loch Ness. Loch is basically like river, but then it was bigger than a river.
It's kind of like a lake. I think that's the best description. But the guide was saying that they have different standards of what's a lock or whatever
Yeah.
like that. So.
But I remember one of the stops that we stopped there, we were having like our lunch with that view, which like the best and view that I had.
Hmm.
The view was like
Yeah, it
wow.
was very nice. It was like out of like these posters that you get
Yes, the
like
postcards.
yeah, postcards. I was
Yeah.
thinking of like back in India, how in calendars and stuff they'll put like these some scenic
Yeah.
places. So
It'll
yeah.
be like Windows wallpapers.
Yeah, yeah. So it's one of those places, and we got to be there in person. So.
Yeah. And you know what? Like when you say that, I remember like my dad, my family used to have these posters that like growing up they used to sell these posters on the
Mhm.
roadsides which would have like sceneries and they will
Mhm.
frame it and put, and then there was these different kind of sceneries, and I used to like as a kid imagine what it would be like if I was there, that is my house and all of that. And like Scotland feels like out of a storybook, like going through the highlands and even just staying there felt like being a part of like a storybook, and
Mm.
every nook and corner was like picture
Mm.
worthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, just those little things even as a kid that you would have said and like thought of how God honors, like
Mm.
it might have taken me like 30 years of my life,
Yeah.
but like it's just God's faithfulness. Like if it would not have happened, God is my heart knows God is still good, but then he is way beyond like how I can like put good into a
Mm.
standard. He like go above and beyond just to put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's nice. And then we came back to London.
yeah.
Any highlights for London for you?
I actually want to say our anniversary day in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
After like we roamed around, we went to like a nice place for lunch and stuff. But we booked a fancy place for our anniversary dinner,
Mm.
and then we had of course we had like a nice dinner, and the place was so beautiful.
Dinner,
It
like
was
food
not.
wise, it was okay.
It was like small quantity but nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't
oh,
understand fancy food.
yeah, fancy food you'll only get
Yeah,
this much,
like this small.
but it's tasty because of course they would have like put all the art
Mm,
in it. It's more decoration than food
mm,
on those plates. But then I remember we had like this two ladies from US. I don't know where they were from. Atlanta,
mm,
Georgia.
mm,
They were next on the next table, and we just had this whole conversation. So they just started having the conversation. I remember this one lady looked at us like, "Sorry, can I just tell you that you guys are so beautiful." Like your skin, and she was like going, she really like made that evening like lively and
yeah.
happy, and then we like had conversations, and like she was just so happy to see us, and in like so many ways that like
Mm,
all of that happened was nice.
yeah.
What was your favorite part from Scotland?
I guess the place, like just being in that place, just walking around. Like we did walk a lot in
Oh, we
Scotland.
did.
Yeah.
We walked like
Which was nice. I liked it because
yeah.
like it was anywhere you walked around, it was all nice.
Yeah. Also, when we say we walked a lot, like a minimum of 15,000 steps every day.
But I guess Scotland is one of those
Yeah.
places there. You
That
walk.
we were aware
Yeah,
of.
you walk and then you just catch the bus and then you walk and that's
Oh my
basically
gosh, the buses.
yeah, the buses were nice too.
Yeah. So it was our first time like being on like a double decker
Yeah.
bus and
I mean, we did that in London, but in this whole trip was
trip.
the first time. Yeah.
Yeah. And something you didn't like?
Just the unexpected weather, like the cold winds. So it was cold, which
Cold.
I kind of like,
But the
but also
wind
the winds kind of make it worse
worse.
because, like, yeah, the winds kind of, I guess, make you feel cold a little bit more.
Mm.
And we did not take any like wintry kind of clothes because we expected it to be summer.
Mm.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the only thing. But other than that, everything was great for
I
me.
had the best milkshake of my life.
Oh yeah, the Marshmallow Lady.
Yeah.
They're voted number
Number
one hot chocolate in Scotland
Scotland.
according to Visit Scotland website.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
if you ever happen to be in Edinburgh, like highly recommend. They're only open for 4 hours.
yeah.
If you can get
And
your
the people
hands.
were very nice too. They were
Yeah.
very friendly and all
Yeah.
that. So
Coming back to London.
London,
London was we were not big fans of London
the
compared to like
city itself is
yeah.
yeah okay-ish.
Yeah. I think London for us were people than the
Yeah,
place.
yeah, for
We
sure.
were just
We got
glad.
to meet so many people that we didn't see in a long time,
Yeah.
like Nemo and Rachel.
Yeah.
And
Rachel was a surprise. You
yeah.
leading there
Yeah.
was a surprise.
So Recha, if you don't know, his name is Ray William. He leads a ministry called Face to Face in India that I was part of. And then they happen to do like an event called SOAR that they do in India and different places. And since we were also there, he invited us to like lead worship and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was like a big highlight moment just to like, I got to lead worship with Nemo after ages. So that
Yeah.
was like a great thing.
Nemo is
Nemo,
Nema
yeah,
Kulutangan.
yeah, from Bridge Music. So yeah, those things were the highlight. Like even staying with Bonnie Manisha, getting to meet Anugrah and
The Ankita.
Ankita. So and obviously Baby Z was the highlight of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
I think like
And Auntie, thank you for taking care of
yeah.
us.
Like throughout for us, like London was people.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm a fan of London as a city, and everybody was like, oh, there would be like great food, Indian food. We get better Indian food in US.
yeah,
Like no offense, but we do get better
yeah.
Indian foods in US.
And also the like pastors like from the Royal Signature.
Yes,
So there
Pastor
was
Ben. Oh my
Pastor
gosh.
Ben and his whole
Oh,
family and
like if this ever reaches to Pastor Ben, thank you so much for like making us feel so loved
yes.
and seen.
Yeah.
Like even though you don't know us, like
Yeah.
yeah,
It was like a very
I
short interaction,
yeah,
but
I really felt like the like just the connection and
mm,
like the conversation with him. He reflects so much of Jesus so effortlessly, if that
mm,
makes sense.
mm,
Like so,
that's
thank you
true.
for who you are.
Yeah.
Very grateful, very grateful.
Yeah. And
Please
just
meet us when you come to Houston next time.
yeah. And like I love just seeing and also like shortly getting to be part of like the community that they built over there,
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's London.
And you also got to lead in the church for like a
Yeah.
short, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is another privilege. Once again, never want to take those things for
Yeah.
granted.
I
And
remember like when we came back in the Sunday when he was here in the church, like one of the guy came up to Emerson and was like, "Oh, they're making you fly out to Europe to lead worship now," and but then it might look fun from the outside, but
yeah,
we never take it
oh
lightly.
yeah,
Like,
for sure. See, for me, like all those things are just bonuses. Like for me, it would be like meeting and getting to know Pastor Ben more than just leading. I mean, I'm honored that I get to lead the at the church and stuff, but even to know that he would just trust somebody that he just met not too long ago, that and that comes from a place of like I guess being in relationship with God that kind of connects
yeah,
his children together. So
yeah,
yeah. So yeah, London, Edinburgh. This was a trip. I mean, yes, obviously we had to depend on God in so many ways because even everything that we have, even financially, He is our source.
yeah,
So it was not as like unknowing as the other trips. I felt like because we
yeah,
kind of like knew that this is what we're doing because
yeah,
all those things. But at the end of the day, I guess even us sharing all our stories and all our
mm,
trips uh, is just to remember how God has been so faithful in little details.
yeah,
And like not raining on our anniversary day
yeah,
or like when we thought that we could not make a trip to
yeah,
Malaysia, God made a way for that to happen. When we thought we could not make a trip to Cancun because we just made like a big life move, God
yeah,
made that happen also.
yeah,
And saving us in the middle of the ocean in Thailand,
yeah,
and just remembering God who is faithful in our desires. And like what you said about when you were a kid, you saw these posters and
yeah.
you wondered like what it would be like. Oh, you're crying.
It's okay. Go on.
Yeah, like you remembered what it would be like to be in those places, right? And then God is mindful enough to do that. And many times we just see God as somebody who uh, just gets us out of bad things, but he's so much more than that. He's not just a God in our worst situations to take us away from that, but
Yeah,
he's also a God who celebrates. He's
yeah,
also a God who delights in giving good things to his children.
yeah,
And uh, God doesn't, I don't think God wants us to just survive through life. He wants us to, experience life with him.
yeah,
And if these are the kind of things that you've desired, and I want you to start believing that God cares for these things.
yeah,
And we stand and hope and pray with you that you will experience God's goodness, not just like how He has done for us, because God loves you uniquely. So He will like obviously He knows your desires. He knows what you have in your heart, and
yeah,
we believe that you get to experience God in a unique way to you.
yeah.
So that's the whole point of us sharing all this.
Yeah, I guess to like sum it up, for me especially, it's like I'll just share a conversation. And I remember we were like with our friends and all, and like we were going around, and then like somehow the public toilets and public restrooms topic came up, how other people can't use public restrooms, they're not comfortable, and I have like no problem with them not have, but I am like okay with anything because I grew up with, as a missionary kid, I'm like, I'm just glad there is a covered restroom of like it's crazy of how I grew up. So I also start tearing up of thinking, because where I come from, how I grew up, like couldn't even like think that I could like in my life, like I'm the only one among like my family members, like my mom, dad, and my brother, that who has traveled so much. Like my dad, I know that he always wanted to travel. uh, I hope he gets to do soon, but I got to travel a lot and like experience all of those things, and I also know that what they sowed in the kingdom so faithfully, I get to reap the fruit of it and live the life that I got to get to live. And I would just say, if God can do this for me, God can do so much more for you. Like God is a God who honors and just loves to see you happy, and He would like turn around the world or turn you to all the parts of the world to just put a smile on your face. And I I pray and I hope that uh, this just gives you hope to dream, and we get to constantly remember how good God has been. Of all our anniversaries, I feel like it has God's goodness written all over it, and that's just our life.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're doing this because, again, we more than doing it for other people, I think,
Yeah. To remember God's faithfulness in our lives.
and go back and say it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I guess like right before this, we were watching our vlogs for
yeah,
our anniversaries.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm glad that we get to remember who
yeah,
God has been, who God is right now, and in the times where we don't see Him for who He truly is. Hopefully, that these conversations would remind us and
yeah,
also whoever's watching who God truly is.
yeah. I hope this helped you in some way, or you just have had a good time hearing
Our
our
stories.
stories. Thank you for tuning in. We're so grateful for you and just being here and loving on us.
I'm glad to do this with you.
I'm glad to do this with you too. Oh, let us know. Uh, Next year is our 5th year. Where should we go?
Uh, yeah, let us know and pray for us.
Yeah, let us know and pray for us.
Yeah.
Don't say India. Don't say India.
I mean, yeah, that's
We
true.
will come to India next year.
Yeah. I don't think that would be considered an anniversary trip. That
Yeah.
would be more like visiting family and
Catching up.
yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of our stories and remembering God with us. And I hope that you get to remember God in all the things that He has done and believe and start dreaming. Because I like one of the things that you say is if God is a God who does more than what we can ask, think, or imagine, we have to ask, think, or imagine. And I hope that you get encouraged to dream bigger with our stories and remember God's faithfulness.
Yes. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. We'll see you next time. This is the Remember series where we remember the goodness of God. Bye.
Bye.